What were your first kind of vivid memories of the film? What captured you right away about it?
Well, I think, that's a picture that perhaps more than there are certainly images from it that are. I think the way it unfolds, I appreciate it as a writer. Coming from an interesting source, and even the first few scenes open in these kind of reverse slow zooms, that kind of begin like chapters and give you a kind of sense of the literary. And I appreciated that. And the narrator, Michael Horton, had a kind of wonderful, dry sense of humor about things. It wasn't like Tom Jones, but it was, it just felt right. And it put things into a kind of perspective. And the tableaus were so beautiful. I mean, obviously, Kubrick's hand, no doubt, is on every frame of it. But the cinematography, the art direction, Ken Adam and John Alcott, did such stellar work in it, and great people. I mean, there's some wonderful character actors in there in relatively small parts. Mm-hmm. Leonard Rossiter, I think, is fantastic in the movie. Hardy Kruger, I like very much. Patrick McGee is somebody I've always had an affinity for. Murray Melvin, I think is that his name? Plays
yes.
Reverend Runt. Love him. Just such an amazing face, I think that a lot of those very vivid people who pop up throughout, but really fine work from Ryan O'Neal. I think a really, really strong performance, and so I think Kubrick always was great about collecting. Maybe that's a perfect word for him. Collecting really interesting mm-hmm. people to go along for these long rides. I mean, there was something like 300 shooting days on that movie. But rather than moments of like, well, it's the apes smashing the bones, or this, a moment from Full Metal Jacket or The Shining, it's Jack Nicholson's face in the door. Yeah, I don't know that there's an image, from it in the same way for me, but it's these beautiful, almost like paintings, almost, these gorgeous tableaus, and the period feels so alive and so vivid. That it's one of those movies that helps me escape into a place and really spend a few hours just away from my own world. I can completely immerse in a picture like that. It's one of those pictures it's the kind of movie that people, when they say you must see it on the screen, they're talking about a movie like this.